Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're
Yeah.
diving into something I know a lot of you are really interested in, especially if you're a content creator trying to, make a living from all your hard work.
Yeah.
You sent in a bunch of sources about using AI and automation
Mhm.
to boost your income as a creator, and honestly, I'm super curious to see what we uncover.
That's great.
I have to say,
Yeah.
one thing that really jumped out at me from the sources you sent
Uh-huh.
was this idea that even social media and email marketing can be automated.
Yeah.
It feels like magic almost, right?
Right. It's pretty incredible what you can do with automation these days.
Yeah, having a whole team of virtual assistants working behind the scenes without actually having to hire anyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not magic, but it can certainly feel that way. The
Yeah.
key is understanding how to use these tools strategically,
Right.
and that's what we're going to dive into today.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. One of the articles you sent defined automation in the context of content creation as basically getting rid of all those repetitive tasks that eat up so much time.
Mm-hmm.
Things like scheduling your social media posts, sending out newsletters, even responding to some comments and messages.
Right. All that busy work that nobody really enjoys doing.
Yeah, it's like having a robot handle all the boring stuff.
Exactly. And for content creators, that is
Yeah.
absolutely crucial.
Right, because time is money.
Right? Time is definitely money, especially when you're creating content.
Yes.
Think about all the time and energy you could free up if you didn't have to manually handle every single one of those tasks. What could you do with those extra hours?
Oh, yeah.
You could create more content, come up with new ideas, engage with your audience on a deeper level.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here.
Yeah.
But how does this actually, translate into more income?
Well, for starters, consistency is key in the world of online content.
Okay.
Algorithms love it when you show up regularly. And automation makes sure that you're always present, even when you're busy with other things. Take social media, for example. Your sources mention tools like Buffer Later or Hootsuite for automating posts.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
But I always thought that they were just for big companies,
Right.
with whole social media teams.
Right. A lot of people think that.
How could they possibly work for a solo creator like me?
That's a common misconception. These tools are incredibly powerful for individual creators as well.
Okay.
They let you batch, create a week or even a month's worth of content in advance,
Oh.
and then schedule it to post at optimal times.
So it's not just about
Mhm.
saving time. It's
Yeah.
about using that time strategically.
Exactly. You're
Yeah.
maximizing your reach and impact by posting when your audience is most likely to see it.
That's pretty brilliant.
And by staying top of mind with your audience, you're increasing the likelihood that they'll engage with your content, share it with their networks, and ultimately convert into paying customers or subscribers.
Just look at a domino effect,
Yeah.
starting with that consistency. Okay, I like where this is going. Now, another automation superpower that your sources highlighted was email marketing.
Yes.
And to be honest, I've always found email kind of overwhelming.
I get that. It can be a lot to manage. But automated email sequences can truly revolutionize your email marketing efforts.
Okay, how so?
Think about it. You can craft a series of emails that automatically welcome new subscribers, nurture them with valuable content, and even guide them towards your products or services, all while you're working on other aspects of your business.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. But doesn't that sound a bit impersonal? Like sending out pre-written emails to my audience?
That's a valid concern, but that's where strategy and personalization come in. You wouldn't just blast out the same generic email to everyone.
Right.
You'd segment your audience based on their interests or behavior and tailor your email sequences accordingly.
So, for example,
Oh.
I might create a different welcome sequence for new subscribers who signed up through my blog
Exactly.
versus those who came from, my Instagram or something.
Precisely. That personalized touch can significantly increase your engagement and conversion rates.
So instead of feeling robotic, it's actually a way to deliver more targeted, more relevant content to each person.
Oh, got it.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And is this something that, solo creators are actually doing? Or is this more for, established businesses?
Absolutely not. This is especially powerful for individual creators,
Oh.
particularly those who offer courses, digital products, or memberships.
Oh, okay. Can you give me an example?
Sure. Imagine you've just launched a new online course.
Okay.
You could set up an automated email sequence that starts by welcoming new subscribers and then gradually introduces them to your teaching style and the course content through a series of valuable emails. You could even incorporate testimonials from past students or offer a limited time discount to encourage enrollment.
Wow, that's incredibly smart. I can see how that would be much more effective than just sending out like one announcement email and hoping for the best.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is once you've set up that sequence, it runs on autopilot, nurturing your audience and driving sales without you having to lift a finger.
So I can focus on
Yeah,
creating the content.
exactly.
Okay, you've officially blown my mind. But honestly, it still feels like a bit daunting. Like, where do I even begin with all this?
Don't worry, we'll get to the specifics of how to set all of this up and which tools can help you do it.
Perfect, because that was going to be my next question. But before we jump into the nuts and bolts, there's one more thing from your research that I have to ask about.
Okay.
This idea that even audience engagement can be automated to some extent.
Yes.
That really surprised me.
It's definitely one of the more advanced applications of automation. Your sources mention tools that can handle things like autoresponders for direct messages or comments.
Okay.
So if someone asks a common question or leaves a specific type of comment, you can have a pre-written response ready to go.
Okay, I can see how that would be a huge time saver.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting a lot of similar inquiries. But doesn't that risk sounding like robotic or impersonal? People can tell when they're getting a canned response.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why this is an area where you need to proceed with caution. It's crucial to craft those auto-responses carefully, making sure they sound genuine and add value to the conversation.
So it's all about finding that balance between efficiency and authenticity.
Exactly.
I guess that's kind of the theme that keeps coming up here.
It's the golden rule of automation. You want to leverage these tools to streamline your workflow and free up your time, but never at the expense of your unique voice and that human connection with your audience.
Got it.
Yeah.
Efficiency without sacrificing personality. Okay, I can get behind that. Now, shifting gears a bit, your sources also talk about the importance of automating revenue tracking and analytics.
Yes, definitely important.
To be honest, spreadsheets and numbers
Yeah.
are not exactly my strong suit.
I hear you, but that's precisely why automating this aspect of your business can be so liberating.
Right.
Data-driven decision-making is essential for any content creator who wants to grow their income. And these tools take the headache out of number crunching.
So instead of drowning in spreadsheets,
Huh?
I can actually understand what's working, what's not, and where my money is coming from.
Exactly. Imagine having a clear dashboard that shows you your income streams, tracks your most profitable content, and highlights areas where you might need to adjust your strategy.
It's like having a virtual CFO working behind the scenes.
Pretty much.
Okay, sign me up. But how does this actually work in practice? What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, there are a variety of platforms that can automate different aspects of your revenue tracking and analytics. Some integrate directly with your payment processors. Others connect with your social media accounts or website analytics.
Okay, this is starting to sound pretty technical. Are you sure this is something that solo creator can handle?
Absolutely. There are tools out there for every level of technical expertise, from simple plug-and-play solutions to more advanced platforms that allow for customization and integration with other tools.
Okay, that's reassuring. I'm definitely intrigued to learn more about these specific tools and how I can put them to work for my business.
I thought you might be. And lucky for you, your sources provide a great list of tools that cover a wide range of content creation needs.
Okay, let's dive in. I'm ready to hear all about these automation superheroes
Yeah.
that are going to revolutionize my workflow.
Let's start with one that's often considered the glue that holds everything together.
Okay.
Zapier.
Zapier. I've heard the name, but I've never really understood what it does. Enlighten me.
Think of it as a connector that allows you to link different platforms and automate tasks between them.
Okay.
For example, let's say you publish a new blog post.
Yep.
With Zapier, you could automatically share that post on your social media channels, add it to your email newsletter, or even trigger a notification to your team members.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. So it's like a personal assistant who can juggle all these different tasks at lightning speed.
It's even more powerful than that. Zapier allows you to create complex workflows with multiple steps and conditions. So you can automate intricate tasks that would normally take hours of manual effort.
I'm definitely starting to see the potential here. But before we get carried away with all the possibilities, can we back up a bit and talk about how I would actually use Zapier in my content creation workflow?
Of course.
I need some concrete examples
Oh.
to wrap my head around this.
Let's say you're a food blogger who shares new recipes on your website.
Okay.
You could use Zapier to automatically create a visually appealing graphic with your recipe title and photo using Canva, and then share it on your Instagram and Pinterest accounts.
Okay, wow. So I wouldn't have to like manually create or upload anything?
Nope. It's all done automatically.
That's amazing. Suddenly all those hours I spend wrestling with different platforms are like vanishing.
Exactly. That's the power of automation.
Okay, what else? What else can I automate with this magical Zapier thing?
Well, let's say you also have an email list where you share those delicious recipes.
Oh.
You could set up Zapier to automatically add anyone who subscribes through your blog to a specific email sequence tailored to new recipe lovers, sending them a welcome message and maybe highlighting some of your most popular recipes to get them started.
So it's like a chain reaction of automation. One action triggers a whole series of helpful tasks across different platforms.
You got.
It's like a digital domino effect working in my favor.
I like that analogy. And the best part is once you set up these zaps, they just run in the background, silently and efficiently making your life easier.
Okay, I'm officially sold on Zapier. What other tools are in my content creation automation arsenal?
Well, since we were just talking about visual content, let's move on to Canva Content Planner. This one's a gem for anyone who creates a lot of visuals, especially for social media.
Oh, I love Canva. It's like
God.
I'm my go-to for creating pretty much everything. Instagram posts, Pinterest graphics, even YouTube thumbnails.
I hear that. It's a great tool.
But to be honest, the scheduling part always feels a bit clunky.
That's where Canva Content Planner comes in. It takes all those beautiful visuals you're creating and allows you to schedule them across multiple social media platforms in advance.
So no more logging into each platform individually.
Exactly.
Or scrambling to post at the last minute.
No more last-minute scrambling.
That sounds like a dream. Especially when I'm trying to maintain a consistent aesthetic across all my platforms.
Exactly. Consistency is key for building a recognizable brand and attracting a loyal audience.
And Canva Content Planner helps me achieve that visual consistency.
Effortlessly.
So for example, I could create a whole week's worth of Instagram posts with like a cohesive theme and color palette. Schedule them all in Canva Content Planner, and then completely forget about Instagram for a week.
That's the idea. You
Yeah.
free up your mental space and time to focus on other aspects of your business, knowing that your social media presence is taken care of.
Amazing. Okay, so now that we've tackled social media and email, let's talk about something that's always top of mind for me,
Okay.
selling stuff.
Ah, yes. The monetization piece.
My goal is to eventually create and sell my own merchandise. But honestly, the logistics just seem so overwhelming.
I understand that feeling. But guess what?
What?
There are tools that can automate much of that process too.
Really?
Two of your sources specifically highlighted the power of Shopify and Printful working together.
Okay. I've definitely heard of Shopify. It's like the gold standard for online stores, right?
It is.
But I'm not familiar with Printful. What does it do?
Printful is a print-on-demand service
Okay.
that handles all the messy back-end stuff.
Like what kind of stuff?
Printing, fulfillment, shipping, so you don't have to.
Right.
And the magic happens when you connect Printful to your Shopify store.
Okay, this is starting to sound interesting. Walk me through how this works.
Let's say you design a cool t-shirt with your logo or a catchy slogan.
Okay.
You upload that design to Printful, set your prices, and list it on your Shopify store. When a customer places an order, Printful automatically receives the order, prints the t-shirt, packages it, and ships it directly to the customer.
Hold on. So I don't have to keep any inventory? Like no scoring boxes of t-shirts in my spare bedroom?
Nope. That's the beauty of print on demand. It's a game changer for creators who want to sell physical products without the hassle of traditional manufacturing and inventory management.
That's incredible. Suddenly launching my own merch line feels totally doable.
I know, right? It opens up so many possibilities.
But what about the design part? I'm not exactly a graphic designer.
Don't worry, Canva comes to the rescue again.
Of course.
You can easily create eye-catching designs using Canva's templates and tools, and then seamlessly integrate them with Printful. It's like a one-stop shop for creating and selling your own merchandise.
I'm seriously loving all these automation possibilities. My mind is racing with ideas.
That's great to hear. Now, there's one more area of content creation that your sources highlight as ripe for automation.
Okay, what's up?
Building a loyal community and generating recurring income.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
That's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. I'm starting to realize that having like a strong, engaged community is really crucial for long-term success.
Absolutely. And platforms like Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee offer fantastic ways to cultivate that community and generate more stable income streams.
I've heard of Patreon. Isn't that mostly for like artists and musicians?
It started that way,
Yeah.
but it's expanded to include all sorts of creators: writers, podcasters, YouTubers, educators, even chefs and gardeners.
Wow, really? Tell me more about how it works and how it ties into automation.
Essentially, Patreon allows you to offer exclusive content perks and even memberships to your most dedicated fans. in exchange for their monthly support.
So it's like creating a VIP club for my biggest fans.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is Patreon handles all the payment processing and membership management, so you don't have to worry about the logistics.
Yeah.
You can focus on creating amazing content for your patrons and nurturing those relationships.
That sounds fantastic. What about Buy Me a Coffee? Is that similar?
It's similar in that it allows fans to support you directly, but it's more focused on one-time donations or tips. It's a great way to supplement your income and show your appreciation for your audience's support.
So it's like a virtual tip jar for my content.
Yeah.
I like it. But how does all this tie into automation?
Well, both Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee have features that automate certain aspects of community management.
Like what?
For example, you can set up automated welcome messages for new patrons or members, send out mass updates, or even schedule exclusive content deliveries.
Okay, I'm seeing the pattern here. Automation isn't just about saving time on individual tasks. It's about streamlining entire systems and processes,
You got it.
creating a more efficient and sustainable workflow for my entire business.
That's exactly right. It's about working smarter, not harder, and leveraging the power of technology to amplify your efforts and free up your creative energy.
Okay, I have to admit, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed by all these amazing tools and possibilities.
It's understandable to feel overwhelmed at first. Remember, you don't have to do everything at once.
Right.
Start by identifying the areas of your business that are taking up the most time or causing the most frustration.
Yeah, that's good advice. I'm definitely feeling the pain points when it comes to like social media scheduling and email marketing. Those are two areas I'd love to automate ASAP.
That's a great starting point. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are tons of resources available to help you learn about these tools and implement them effectively.
That's reassuring. I'm definitely going to need some guidance as I navigate this new world of automation.
We'll be here to help.
But before I dive headfirst into setting up all these tools, are there any potential pitfalls I should be aware of?
That's a great question. It all sounds pretty amazing, but there are definitely some things to watch out for.
Okay, like what?
One common pitfall is over-automating, trying to automate everything to the point where your content loses its personal touch.
Right. I don't want to sound like a robot or lose that genuine connection with my audience.
Exactly. It's about finding that sweet spot where automation enhances your workflow without compromising your authenticity.
So efficiency without sacrificing personality.
That's it.
Got it. What other pitfalls should I be on the lookout for?
Another potential pitfall is neglecting to monitor and adjust your automated processes.
So just because something is set up to run automatically, doesn't mean I can completely ignore it.
Right. It's like having a self-driving car.
Yeah.
But you still need to keep your hands on the wheel and make sure it's going in the right direction.
Yes, Kit, that's a good analogy.
You need to regularly review your analytics, track your results, and make adjustments as needed to ensure your automation is working effectively.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. Nope. I need to stay engaged and make tweaks along the way.
Exactly. The goal of automation is to free up your time and energy, not to completely disconnect you from your business.
Okay, I'm making a note of that. Stay engaged, monitor, adjust.
Huh.
Any other words of wisdom before I embark on my automation adventure?
Here's a crucial one: data security. When you're using multiple tools and platforms, it's essential to ensure that your data is being handled responsibly. Make sure you're using reputable tools with strong security measures in place.
Right, you definitely don't want your valuable content or audience data falling into the wrong hands.
Exactly. So do your research before signing up for any tool or platform.
Right.
Look for reviews, check their security policies, and make sure they have a good track record of protecting user data.
Data security check.
Yeah.
Anything else?
One final thought, and this is perhaps the most important one.
Okay.
Remember that automation is a tool, not a magic solution.
Right.
It can help you streamline your workflow and boost your efficiency, but it won't magically transform your content creation business overnight.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
I wish it were that easy. But think of it this way. Automation can amplify your efforts, but it's your creativity, passion, and strategic thinking that will ultimately drive your success as a content creator.
Okay, so I still need to create great content, connect with my audience, and put in the effort to build a thriving business.
You do, but automation can help you do all of those things more effectively.
Okay, that's a good reminder. Automation is a tool to help me reach my goals, not a replacement for the hard work and creativity that goes into building a successful business.
That's the perfect way to think about it.
Wow. Okay, so where does all of this leave us? It feels like we've gone on like a whirlwind tour of the content creation automation landscape. My head is buzzing with possibilities.
It's a lot to take in, for sure. But let's zoom out for a second and connect all of this back to your original goal.
Okay.
Increasing your income as a content creator. What have we learned today that you think could really make a difference for you?
Honestly, before this deep dive, I always thought automation was something for like big companies, not for someone like me running a one-person show. But now I realize that it's actually like the key to unlocking more time reaching a wider audience. And ultimately, yeah, making more money.
Exactly. These tools can really level the playing field, giving individual creators access to the same power and efficiency that was once only available to large organizations.
I'm especially excited about automating my social media and email marketing.
Yeah.
Like those are two areas where I constantly feel like I'm playing catch up.
Those are great areas to focus on. Remember, consistency is key on social media, and automated scheduling can make a huge difference. And email marketing is still one of the most powerful ways to nurture relationships with your audience and promote your products or services.
I'm also really intrigued by that print-on-demand model. For selling merchandise, it takes away so much of the risk and the hassle, which makes it so much more accessible for someone like me who's just starting out.
It is a fantastic option for creators who want to monetize their brand without the upfront investment and logistical challenges of traditional merchandising.
And of course, I can't forget about the community building aspect. Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee offer such a unique way to connect with my most dedicated fans and create those more sustainable income streams.
Absolutely. It's all about diversifying your income and building a loyal following that supports your work. And these platforms provide incredible tools to do just that.
Okay, so I'm like, ready to jump in and start experimenting with all these tools.
That's great.
But do you have any final words of advice before I embark on my automation journey?
Sure. Remember that each tool has its own learning curve. So be patient with yourself. Don't be afraid to start small, experiment with different platforms, and find what works best for you and your unique content creation process.
That's good advice.
Yeah.
I tend to get overwhelmed when I try to do too much at once.
And perhaps most importantly, never lose sight of the human element that makes your content special.
Okay.
Automation can amplify your efforts, but it's your unique voice, your creativity, and your passion that will truly connect with your audience.
Okay, I want to write that on a sticky note and put it on my computer screen. Automation amplifies, humanity connects.
I love it.
Perfect. Keep that in mind as you explore these tools, and I have no doubt you'll achieve amazing things.
Well, I'm feeling incredibly inspired and empowered to take my content creation to the next level. Thanks to this deep dive, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insights with me. My pleasure. Remember, the future of content creation is all about working smarter, not harder. And automation is the key to unlocking that potential.
That's a wrap on this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did. Now go forth and automate your way to content creation success.